back on identity. Um, Most people don't really even know where their identity came from, and that's one of the interesting things that I think about when I think about identity is like there's these passive forms of impact of these passive factors that create your identity. Then there's these active ones in which you have a part in. So the passive ones you didn't have any part in. So if you're born in say Oakland and Brookdale, I think that's the name of the neighborhood out there. Like there's a whole culture around that area that people know you're from that part of Oakland. So those are passive things in which you just came up and like the way you dance, the way you talk, the way you do certain things that can be a part of your identity that have just been like ingrained in you from being around an environment. Then there's active ways that you can create identity, and those are ways that are apart from your family, which is a passive identity form, your community, your neighborhood, your city, your region, your country. So all those types of as you extract out on the passive factors on your identity, you can get to the active ones, and those are the ones that you decide. So like if so I'm an Aries, and there's certain characteristics that Aries have generally, not all of them, but and I tend to be more of what a typical Aries looks like. I'm aware of that, so actively I try and make sure that either I'm not acting generally as an Aries, or I'm not, or the things that I understand about me that kind of fit in that mold, I try and control them in ways that can benefit me in groups or in individuals or meeting with people and stuff like that. So your identity is crucial in how you knowing about it, so that you can control who you are and not just be this is who I am. Or you hear people all the time say, yo, that's just how I am. Just take it like that's how I am. It doesn't have to be that way. Like there are things that you know about yourself and you can alter. Be like, I know I tend to have a hot temper, so whenever I'm getting into a heated convo, just shut up, don't say nothing, like just let people talk or whatever, and just listen and think, versus bang reacting and like this or cursing people out, whatever. I had to learn that. Like I'm notorious for having a bad attitude. I mean a bad temper, not maybe attitude. A bad temper, and having to control it. Most people aren't aware of my bad temper, um, but I'm an emotional person by nature, so that stuff I have to really keep in check, because otherwise it can consume me and become like more dominant in my identity. So I focus on that a lot. Um, but active versus passive is a very interesting thing for you to think about. Like the ways that my identity, that bird gotta be dying, right? um, Things that you didn't control that created your identity, and then the things that you can control that can alter your existing identity. Like I would leave you guys with that think about how you have an identity which you didn't have anything to do with, and then there's an identity which you can actually control and alter and make yourself a bigger, more dynamic person or whatever. Bang.